Hello everyone. Welcome to Finance Current Affairs session and welcome to Testbook. My name is Davinder and I'm your finance mentor. Today we are going to discuss some news which are going to be very important for your exam. यहाँ से direct question आने के chances है in your phase 1. And as you all know that we are being now aware of the dates as well. That is कब होगा हमारा exam. Now we have a lot of certainty. So we have certainty over the news as well. That कि हमें कौन कौन सी न्यूज पढ़नी चाहिए और कौन सी नहीं पढ़नी चाहिए, right? So considering that thought process, I have included these three news in the session. A very good evening to all of you. Could you please confirm that everything is fine with my audio and video? Good evening, Manish. Could you please confirm that yes, everything is fine with my audio and video? You can see the screen properly and my voice is also being audible to all of you. Right? Great, great. Thank you. So these are the three newses. The first one is again related to RBI approval that MobiKwik has been got. Right. Then we have 38th foundation day of the SEBI because SEBI have completed their 38 years. So and then we are going to understand that what exactly they have achieved over the period of time. And at this, we can say profound day, what exactly they have launched, right? Then we have one very important news of RBI, which is related to your Basel III. A draft was released in 2023 and some changes has been finalized and these are going to be applicable from 1st April 2027. So we need to understand these changes as well. Okay. So accordingly, then we have questions as per that. So let's just go through it slowly. So the first news is very simple. The MobiKwik is a fintech company. It is a fintech company. When I say that it is a fintech company, that means it just provide a interface or technology. A interface or technology is being provided by this particular company to financial institutions, say banks or another NBFCs. So they were just there to provide what? The technology, right? They were providing the interface that gives you options कि आप किसके थ्रू पेमेंट करना चाहेंगे. अब वो जो इंटरफेस आता है, वो जो टेक्नोलॉजी, वो जो आपके पास नंबर ऑफ ऑप्शंस आते हैं, who provide that? Now fintech is the one which is providing that innovation. ठीक है, वो टेक्नोलॉजी डेवलप कर रहे हैं, राइट? तो अब ये जो फिनटेक कंपनी है, that is MobiKwik, that has now have their own, they have got approval from the RBI to establish their own NBFC. Now, MobiKwik can launch their subsidiary, which is for the NBFC. NBFC यानी कि non-banking financial companies. Now, non-banking financial companies are different from banks. Banks are there in the Indian banking system with a banking license from the RBI. However, RBI gives approval to the NBFC by giving a certification of registration. सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ रजिस्ट्रेशन, ये कैसा सर्टिफिकेशन है? तो जो अलाउ करता है दिस कंपनी टू गिव लोन टू वेरियस इंडिविजुअल्स और बिजनेसेस. हाउएवर दे आर इनटू द लेंडिंग बिजनेस बट दे आर नॉट प्योरली बैंक. ये प्योरली बैंक नहीं है. व्हाई? बिकॉज दे कैन नॉट एक्सेप्ट डिमांड डिपॉजिट. दे कैन नॉट एक्सेप्ट डिमांड डिपॉजिट. Other than this, whatever deposit that they accept, it is not being approved or we can say guaranteed by the DICGC. ठीक है, तो ये कुछ बेसिक डिफरेंसेस हैं बिटवीन द बैंक एंड द एनबीएफसी. नाउ लेट्स सी दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली हैव हैपेंड. सो आरबीआई हैज अप्रूव्ड द एप्लीकेशन ऑफ द वन MobiKwik सिस्टम व्हिच इज अ पेरेंट कंपनी, राइट? ये एक MobiKwik की पेरेंट कंपनी है दैट हैज बीन अलाउड टू सेट अप अ एनबीएफसी, यानी कि वो अपनी एक सब्सिडरी खोल सकती है व्हिच कैन वर्क लाइक एन एनबीएफसी. नाउ MobiKwik कैन क्रिएट अ न्यू सब्सिडरी कॉल्ड एज MobiKwik फाइनेंशियल सर्विसेज प्राइवेट लिमिटेड, MFSSPL, to run a lending business because NBFC generally इनका major जो role होता है in the market is to give loan to the people, to the public, right? However, the certificate of registration is not being received by the MobiKwik yet. They just got a approval from the RBI. So once they get a COR, they will start their operation immediately, right? So why is this important for the MobiKwik, right? For being an NBFC, what are the benefits? Obviously, they can lend the money directly to the individuals or to the businesses, and they can also launch the credit product faster. जैसे कि credit card हो गया, right? They can launch that. PPI can also be issued by them. So these can also be done by them. ऑफर टू टाइप ऑफ लोन, दो तरह के लोन दे सकते हैं, दैट इज सिक्योर्ड and unsecured loans. So they can give any of the two type of loans. Then target underserved segment. They can target the underserved segment, that is to give loan to the people in the rural area, giving loan to the women for the women empowerment. They can give loan to the MSME. Again, they are the one who do not get loan very easily from the banks. So they can give loans to these underserved areas or these underserved sectors. So these are the benefit that MobiKwik can access by becoming an NBFC. Right? So we are done with the first news. Very easy, very simple. Then here we are with the second news, which is SEBI 38th Foundation Day. So as we know that SEBI was established in 1988, पर इसे statutory body बनाया गया था in 1992. But it was established in 1988. So 1988 से 2026 तक it has completed its 38 years. Right? So we have to remember that how many years does SEBI have completed, right? तो क्योंकि अभी इन्होंने क्या सेलिब्रेट किया था, इट्स फाउंडेशन डे, 38th फाउंडेशन डे. सो हु वाज देयर? फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर वाज देयर एंड चेयरमैन वाज देयर who gave their inputs in this on this foundation day, right? So the theme of the foundation day was 38 year of trust, transformation and tomorrow. So exactly this is the theme and you have to focus on this theme. Remember this theme. This can be asked in your examination. वन लाइनर क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है, 1 मार्क क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है आपसे, दैट व्हाट वाज द थीम ऑफ 38th फाउंडेशन डे, राइट? एंड हु वाज द चीफ गेस्ट? एज आई टोल्ड यू, फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर, दैट इज निर्मला सीतारामन इज द वी कैन से चीफ गेस्ट इन दिस पर्टिकुलर डे, राइट? एंड दिस वाज सेलिब्रेटेड इन मुंबई. मुंबई में इसे सेलिब्रेट किया गया था बाय द सेबी. एक बार देख लेते that what exactly they focus on. So if I talk about the Tuhin Kanta Pandey, that is the SEBI's chairman, they said at the 38th foundation day that there are three big priorities as we are moving forwards, because their theme is to look at tomorrow as well. What is going to happen tomorrow? We are going to focus on that as well. So they have three big priorities as of now. The first thing is that they are going to simplify the regulation so that they can promote the ease of doing business for the participants who are working in the market. Then becomes technology-led supervision. That means we are going to promote innovation, but at the same time, we would supervise it so that we can minimize the risk which is coming from it. Then supporting the capital formation. We want that it is easy for the companies to raise funds from the public, from the capital market, and then they can use it for the betterment of the society, for the betterment of the business, right? These are the three things, three big priorities that Tuhin Kanta Pandey have, recognized and identified in the 38th Foundation Day. This showed his concern that innovation must be outspaced safeguard. So innovation should not be more than the safeguards that we are trying to allocate. So boundaries must be set in before, well in advance, right? So SEBI is consulting the stakeholders, that is key managerial, employees and all such people, to see that what exactly we can do, right? While they are issuing any kind of rules and regulation, they are keeping stakeholders in account and they are seeking their feedback. Reducing the regulatory frictions. Obviously, they want to smoothen up the rules and regulation that are there in the market, right? So that they can promote the ease of doing business. The agenda is to build trust, efficiency and innovation. Okay, let's see what else have they said. So they have listed their important data. First of all, in the stock market, there are 5,900 plus listed companies and there are investors of more than 140 million, right? So this data is again very important. You can remember this and you can also highlight this in your phase 2 answers as well, depending upon what exactly they have asked you. ठीक है, मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन अगर देखे जाए तो दिस हैज ग्रो 15% एनुअली ग्रोथ होती है हमारी मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन की. दैट मीन्स ईच एंड एवरी कंपनी इज ग्रोइंग. And then mutual fund assets growth have been 20% annually. So these are some of the sectors which are being showing the improvement, or we can say the participation in the stock market. Finance Minister, क्योंकि chief guest थे, तो they have shown some concern. They said that investor awareness is very important. because we just do not want participation in the sector. We just do not want participation. We need informed participation so that we can see that yes, if they are participating, they have that sound mind that why they want to invest in this particular market and they why are they participating in, right? Then comes strict enforcement. That means unregistered influencers, there would be actions, strict actions will be taken against them, because again they are the one which is hampering the trust of the investors. KYC simplification. KYC is being done across each and every financial sector, and again financial sector we need to improve the KYC. तो वो ज्यादा सीमलेस होनी चाहिए, पोर्टेबल होनी चाहिए और डिजिटल होनी चाहिए, so that everybody can do the KYC in a easiest way. Bond market. When we talk about bond market, they are saying that it should be easy for the companies to raise money. It's just not like only high rated companies or good rated companies are able to raise the money. ठीक है? The bond market में they are saying even if the company do not have good rating or have no rating, उनके पास कोई rating नहीं है. So because of these two reasons, they are not able to raise money from the market, and this is a problem right now. So we must ensure that even if the company is good and they do not have rating in their hand, they are able to raise money from the market, and we must do something for them, right? Apart from this, we are going to focus on the corporate bonds and the municipal bond as well. Currently, government bonds are the one which are being currently trusted by many of the banks as well and many of the investors as well. However, municipal bonds and corporate bonds have seen very less participation from the people. So that is the reason these two things are the one which we need to focus on. Then comes your cyber security focus. That is your AI driven cyber attacks are the one which are hampering your day-to-day operations. So what we need to focus on is to lessen or to reduce that risk. However, the SEBI have done a lot of things with regards to that. ठीक है, पहला क्या आ जाता है, साइबर सिक्योरिटी साइबर रेजिलियंस फ्रेमवर्क, जो कि अप्रैल 2025 में निकाला था आरबीआई ने, सॉरी सेबी ने. एंड देन एआई आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस मशीन लर्निंग बेस्ड फ्रॉड डिटेक्शन सिस्टम, दैट वाज established by again SEBI for again ताकि हम फ्रॉड को पहले से ही आइडेंटिफाई कर पाए. दे हैव यूज्ड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड मशीन लर्निंग टू डू सो. सो दीज वर सम ऑफ द थिंग्स. और क्योंकि ये 38 फाउंडेशन डे था, तो इसमें इन्होंने कुछ न्यू इनिशिएटिव लॉन्च करे हैं. दैट इज सेबी चेक. सेबी चेक इज ऑलरेडी देयर बट दे हैव अगेन रिकॉग्नाइज्ड इट्स इंपॉर्टेंस. इसकी इंपॉर्टेंस को दोबारा से रिकॉग्नाइज किया गया है. दे हैव सेड इट इज वेरी यूजफुल फॉर द इन्वेस्टर्स टू चेक द पेमेंट, to check the UPI payment ID of the brokers. क्योंकि ये क्या है, ये इंटरमीडियरीज हैं और एक्चुअली जो इन्वेस्टर है वो किन को पेमेंट कर रहा है, टू डीज इंटरमीडियरीज, एंड वी नीड टू चेक दैट देयर UPI ID is verified or not, and they can check it here. So SEBI check is one of the important platform as of now. Apart from this, they have also launched campaign, Jagruk campaign, which is a nationwide investor awareness program across 360 media approach. तो किसी भी तरह का मीडिया है, रेडियो, न्यूज़पेपर, इंस्टा, फेसबुक, all such things are again your media approaches, and इसके through we are going to bring the awareness among the investors, saying that this is how you must invest, right? These are your rights and these are your liabilities, and these are the risks that when you invest your money in the stock market. तो इसमें कौन कौन साथ दे रहा है, एक्सचेंजेस, डिपॉजिटरीज, एम्फी विच इज अगेन एसोसिएशन ऑफ म्यूचुअल फंड, बहुत बड़ी वो हम कहेंगे एसोसिएशन है, ग्रुप ऑफ इंस्टीट्यूशन है, एंड देन NISM which are going to participate in this particular campaign. And then social media expansion, the SEBI have launched its official presence in the LinkedIn, Insta and Facebook. तो इन तीनों जगहों पे भी now you will see the presence of SEBI, right? So ये बहुत ही बड़ा हम कहेंगे इनिशिएटिव है by the SEBI. So you must remember these few points like data points. ये जो इनिशिएटिव लिए हैं इन्होंने दो, that is very important. Again, the highlights of concern by the finance minister. अब ये कहाँ पर यूज होंगे, when you are writing the descriptive answer, वहां पर याद आते हैं, वहां पर ये चीजें यूज होती हैं. जैसे कि अगर उन्होंने पूछ लिया what are the weak points of the stock market, so then you will highlight these things कि यही तो वीक पॉइंट्स है, दैट साइबर सिक्योरिटी इज देयर, बॉन्ड मार्केट अभी डेवलप नहीं हुई है, केवाईसी सिंप्लीफिकेशन नहीं है, देन यू विल हाईलाइट दीज पॉइंट्स. एंड अगेन दिस डेटा पॉइंट्स यू कैन यूज दिस डिपेंडिंग अपॉन व्हाट द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग. इफ द क्वेश्चन इज अराउंड कि स्टॉक मार्केट कितना ग्रोथ हुआ है, हाउ द सेबी हैव contributed in the growth of the stock market. So this is the sum of the data that you are going to highlight. ठीक है, चलिए अब हम आगे बात करते हैं आरबीआई की सर्कुलर की, विच इज आरबीआई इजेस द रिस्क वेट ट्रिगर फॉर द अनरेटेड बिग टिकट लोन्स. सो दिस इज जस्ट वन ऑफ द थिंग, बट वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट एग्जैक्टली दे हैव सेड. तो इन्होंने क्या निकाला है, फाइनल डायरेक्शन निकाली है फॉर बेसल 3 कैपिटल चार्ज फॉर क्रेडिट रिस्क अंडर द स्टैंडर्डाइज अप्रोच. तो ये एक इन्होंने फाइनल डायरेक्शन निकाली थी फॉर द बेसल 3. ये इन्होंने 2023 में इसकी क्या निकाली थी, अमेंडमेंट निकाली थी. अमेंडमेंट तो नहीं कहेंगे, इसे ड्राफ्ट कहेंगे. इट वाज अ ड्राफ्ट व्हिच वाज रिलीज्ड बाय द आरबीआई, राइट, एंड देन लेटर ऑन, दैट इज right now in 2026, they have finalized it. They have finalized this particular direction by making some changes. They have made some changes to the 2023 draft direction. So that is what we need to understand. Let's just read them slowly one by one. इसके साथ साथ हम एग्जाम्पल भी पढ़ते रहेंगे साथ में, so that we can get more clarity. तब तक देख लेते हैं आपके पिछले 2 न्यूज़ में कोई डाउट्स तो नहीं है. Let's see, do you have any doubt? Yes. Do you have any doubt? Do you have any doubt from the previous news? Those were very simple, very easy. Yes, good to go. Great. So let's just move ahead with this RBI direction. Okay. So the RBI have revised the framework for applying the higher risk weight on the unrated exposure to corporates and non-banking financial companies under the Basel III capital regulation. This is from the Basel III capital regulation. Okay. Now Basel III capital regulation says about the risk weight that bank have to maintain for the loan. Risk weight is the percentage that determines how much money a bank must kept aside as a buffer. That is, they have to keep some extra money in order to deal with the risky loans. If the loan is risky, they have to keep some money well in advance with themselves, considering if that loan converts into a bad loan, they have enough and sufficient money in their hand to continue their day-to-day operations. And this money, how much money they have to keep, this has been decided by the percentage which is being given by this risk weight. Now, each and every loan have different category of loan. And depending upon the loan size, depending upon the loan category, a percentage is being dedicated by this Basel III norms. And now this has been revised, right? Let's just talk about the first stage, which is again very important. Let's just remove these things so that you get some clarity and it is very, easy for you to understand. Okay. So as per the final guidelines, the threshold for applying the 150% of risk weight on such unrated exposure has been increased to 500 crore as compared to 200 crore. So earlier, if the bank, so let's just consider it like that, if a bank is giving a loan to say a company and the loan is of rupees 200 crore, then they have to maintain 150% of the risk weight for that particular kind of loan. That is 150 means that over and above total कितना है 200 और इसका कितना हो जाएगा 300 crore. That is 150 of this particular loan. ठीक है, तो ये इनको जो प्रोविजन था या फिर कह सकते हैं रिस्क वेट है, इतना मनी इनको पहले से ही प्रोविजन मेंटेन करना पड़ता था, राइट? एंड व्हाई? सो दैट दे गेट सिक्योर्ड, they have secured cushion that even if there is some kind of uncertainty in the market, they have enough money in their hand कि अगर वो default हो भी गया, they can continue with their business. ठीक है, but now this threshold of 200 crore, so any loan which is above 200 crore, has to be maintained with 150 percentage of risk weight. But now this threshold have been changed. They are saying that instead of 200, we are going to keep 500 as a increased threshold for the loan. So if the loan is more than 500 crore, then 150 percentage of risk weight will be applicable. This is going to be effective from 1st April 2027. So these are some of the changes that you have to remember. What is the change? कि जो अब लोन लिमिट है दैट हैज बीन इंक्रीज्ड, जिसके लिए 150 परसेंटेज ऑफ रिस्क वेट मेंटेन करना पड़ेगा, दैट इज 200 to 500 crore rupees of loan, right? So that is applicable from 1st April 2027. This is what you need to remember in this. This is the first change that have happened. There are many other change, but this is the first change. You have to remember it. ठीक है, तो इससे रिगार्डिंग क्वेश्चन भी आ सकता है इन द एग्जामिनेशन डायरेक्टली. देन कम्स अदर थिंग. अब हम देखते हैं क्या हम कौन से अदर चेंजेस लेकर आए. तो कुछ तो चेंजेस हमने पढ़ लिए, जैसे कि वी टॉक्ड अबाउट दिस लोअर थ्रेशोल्ड ऑफ 200 करोड़ अप्लाइंग फॉर द रिस्क वेट व्हिच हैज बीन इंक्रीज टू व्हाट 500 करोड़, है ना. इसके बारे में हमने बात कर ली है. दिस हैज बीन इंक्रीज टू 500 करोड़ एंड दिस इज द हाईलाइट ऑफ द न्यूज. जो भी हमने न्यूज में देखा है उसका ये हाईलाइट थी. दिस इज वन ऑफ द इंपॉर्टेंट चेंज दैट हैव हैपेंड इन दिस. सो वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दिस. नाउ लेट्स जस्ट टॉक अबाउट अदर फैक्टर्स एज वेल. ठीक है, आगे क्या कह रहे हैं? पीनल ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ एक्सपोजर दैट बिकम अनरेटेड आफ्टर प्रीवियसली बीइंग रेटेड. नाउ समटाइम व्हाट हैपन, सपोज द बैंक हैव गिवन अ लोन. सपोज द बैंक हैव गिवन अ लोन, यहां पर समझ लेते हैं. सपोज अ बैंक हैव गिवन अ लोन टू अ कंपनी. ठीक है, कंपनी को लोन दिया. एट द टाइम ऑफ गिविंग अ लोन टू द कंपनी वाज AA रेटेड. द कंपनी वाज रेटेड. द लोन वाज ऑफ द पीरियड ऑफ 10 years. 10 years का लोन दिया था बैंक ने टू द कंपनी. एंड आफ्टर 2 years their rating got expired. Their rating got expired. Because again rating have to be revised every time and there is no rating which is available. There is no rating which is available for that company, right? But bank have given a loan to this, right? So earlier the Basel III norms, or we can say this particular framework, used to say that when the rating have been removed after giving the loan, you will be having a penalty. You will be having a penalty being a bank because you have given a loan to a company which is now being unrated. But at the time of giving the loan, that was rated, right? So now they have removed this penalty. They are saying that even if the rating has been removed, even if the rating have been removed after giving the loan, you would not be penalized by the central bank, which is the regulator in this case, right? So this is the second change. Just like that, we have third change as well, fourth change as well. So we will slowly talk about this. Okay. So agenda of these, we can say, direction is to moderate the proposals. To moderate it, or we can say to relax the guidelines for the banks. Okay. The provision of higher risk, or we can say rated and unrated case, all these provisions are being discontinued or some of them are being relaxed. So this is the agenda कि हमें ease of doing business promote करना है for the banks. We do not have to make it very difficult for them. तो यहाँ तक आपको सब क्लियर है, राइट? लेट्स जस्ट मूव अहेड. अब चेंजेस में एक एक करके बात करते हैं, राइट? तो रेटिंग वाला हमने पढ़ लिया, राइट? अब देखते हैं थर्ड चेंज. फर्स्ट चेंज क्या था? 500 रुपीज वाला, राइट? एंड देन द सेकेंड चेंज वॉज पेनल्टी वाला, दैट इवन इफ द company have become unrated after previously being rated, they will not be penalized, right? This was the change. Third change देखते हैं. Instead of RBI introduced a simple and uniform structure, right? इसके लिए क्या निकाल दिया है? एक और इन्होंने नया simplified version निकाल दिया for their guidelines. ठीक है? Suppose whatever loan that you have given, right? This could either be what? Long-term loan, and this could either be short-term loan. So depending upon the maturity, depending upon the tenure of the loan, you are going to decide the risk weight, right? So if the loan is of shorter period of time, then you would have 50% of the risk weight, right? 50% of the risk weight. If it is of long term, then 100% of the risk weight is going to be applicable in that case, right? So depending upon the exposure that you have, based on the maturity you would have similar risk weight. Longer period, so longer period के लिए आपको wait करना पड़ेगा to get your money repaid by the borrower. So 100% of the risk weight will be applicable, right? If the same happens with the short term, then it is going to be 50%. अगर आपके दिमाग में ऐसा चल रहा है कि मैम अगर शॉर्ट टर्म हो बट 500 करोड़ से ज्यादा का हो, then what would be the case? Then 500 करोड़ वाला ही आपको लगेगा rule, that is 150% of risk weight. To make it very simple for you to understand, if it is lower than this, then long term short term provision will be carried forward. Further, the foreign bank branches operating in India are permitted to use the external credit rating of the parent banks for determining the risk weight, right? Now, what would be the risk weight? That is also dependent upon which bank is giving the loan. Which bank is giving the loan? Say foreign bank is giving a loan. Then what rating they can take up? They can take that take up of foreign bank branch as well, because it is their parent company. So foreign bank which is operating in US, they can continue with their rating, credit rating, because ultimately this is their parent company and they continue with this particular credit rating. So this has also been simplified for them, right? आगे देखते हैं. Then there is a one big change, ये हो गया fourth change हमारा, that they can use their parent company credit rating. Then comes your fifth change, this is for MSME. MSMEs के लिए है, earlier a loan to the MSME was considered as a loan to the business, right? But they have specified if the loan, that is your small, it is a small business. How do we recognize a small business? A small business which is having a turnover of up to 500 crore. तो अगर तो किसी कंपनी का, किसी MSME का टर्नओवर 500 करोड़ तक का है और उससे कम का है, then any loan which is being given to that particular enterprise will be considered as a retail loan. It will be considered as a retail loan. इससे क्या benefit होगा? That bank have to maintain less risk weight for that particular loan type. उसके लिए कम risk weight maintain करना पड़ेगा. So as the bank have to maintain less risk weight, they have to keep less money ideal for their business. So the lesser the money they have to keep with as a provision, they would be easier for them to operate in a daily basis, because they can use that leftover money to do the business, to do the lending business. So let's just read about it. They are saying if MSME is there, which is having a turnover size of less than 500 crore, and you as a bank is giving a loan to that particular enterprises, then that particular loan will be considered as a retail loan. और उस retail loan का size क्या हो सकता है? What should be the size? And size is also being increased from 7.5 crore to 10 crore. तो 10 करोड़ का साइज अब रिवाइज कर दिया गया है बाय द RBI. 10 crore per counterparty, that is per party पे you can give 10 crore of loan, which would be considered as a retail loan, because retail loan is easy by the bank to give, right? And less risk weight is being maintained by the bank. Again, this has been relaxed. Okay, let's just come to the sixth change, right? It's saying that we are going to remove the commodity finance category. What is commodity finance category? Suppose the bank is giving a loan to a company. They are taking a loan in order to buy, say, oils, in order to buy, say, any energy good. So this is a commodity based loan, because you are taking a loan so that you can buy this particular commodity, right? So any loan which is being given for the buying of commodity, right? It was classified as a commodity finance category. It was classified as a commodity finance category by the RBI. But now they are considering it as a normal loan. See, they have said that we have removed this kind of category. Now any loan which is being given for the commodity finance category, it will be considered as a normal loan or standardized loan, normal loan. It will not be categorized as a special commodity finance category. Okay. Then comes your seventh change. For the real estate, existing rules will remain unchanged. Some of the change are unchanged. So we do not have to focus on that because the change is the important thing that we need to understand. Okay. The property values can be revised after every 5 years. The rule have been stated that every 5 years, after every 5 years, this could happen that your property rate could have increased. Your property rate, which was of 10 crore 5 years ago, it is now of 50 crore after 5 years. This could be a change. So that change will be identified, that will be recognized by me as a regulator. And this can be done. The property rate or values can be revised after every 5 years. And they can take or give the loan based on this revised rate. They can give a loan based on this revised rate. Apart from this, if if a bank is giving a loan for a project, right? The bank have to ensure that 25% of the money is coming from the borrower, and then remaining 75% of the money is being given by bank as a loan to the borrower. So this is mandatory for the borrower to get at least 25% for the total project cost. Whatever is the total project cost, say 100%, 100 crore is the total project cost, then 25%, or we can say 25 crore in this case, should be minimized, minimum come from the borrower in order to be invested in the project, so that we can ensure that yes, a minimum amount is being also being, at stake by the borrower as well. So these are the changes. Okay. So tell me, do you have any doubt as of now from this? Any doubt? Okay, simple. So these were some of the changes that you need to remember. Directly क्वेश्चन पूछा जा सकता है from these changes in your examination. ठीक है, तो ये आपको याद रखने हैं. These are very important. Right? Let's just discuss the questions now. Let's see how many of you can answer. So which fintech company has recently received the approval from the RBI to convert into a NBFC? To convert into an NBFC or set up a NBFC. So Paytm, PhonePe, Razorpay, One MobiKwik System Limited or BharatPe. Which one is the correct answer in this case? Yes. D is the right answer. Very good. D is the right answer. Yes. Question number 2. Under the revised RBI norms, the exposure limit for classification under the regulated retail category has been increased to dash 5 crore, 7.5 crore, 10 crore, 15 crore, 20 crore. Right. So what they are asking about is, read the question very carefully. They are asking about the regulatory change in the retail category by the RBI norm of Basel III. Okay. Let's see how many of you can answer. Yes. No. B is a incorrect answer. B is the incorrect answer. What is the right answer? रिटेल कैटेगरी में उन्होंने क्या किया है? रिटेल कैटेगरी. ध्यान से पढ़ेंगे, गलती नहीं करनी. ये बहुत ही इजी क्वेश्चन है. अभी हमने न्यूज पढ़ी है और अभी नहीं भूलना हमने. ठीक है, तो क्या है? रिटेल कैटेगरी में आपने लोन दिया है. ठीक है, और किसको दिया है? अब वो रिटेल कैटेगरी में कौन इंक्लूड कर सकता है? अब एमएसएमई लोन्स भी इंक्लूड किए जा सकते हैं. विच एमएसएमई लोन विच आर हैविंग अ साइज ऑफ लेस देन 500 करोड़ ऑफ टर्नओवर. अगर इससे कम का साइज है किसी एंटरप्राइजेस का और उसे आप लोन दे रहे हैं अप टू 10 करोड़, तो अब वो किस कैटेगरी में आएगा? रिटेल कैटेगरी में आएगा. पहले इसकी लिमिट क्या थी? अर्लियर व्हाट वाज द लिमिट? अर्लियर द लिमिट वाज ऑफ 7.5 crore, but now this limit has been increased by whom? by the RBI from 7.5 to 10 crore. So the right answer in this case is what? 10 crore. Okay. So this is the right answer. तो ये आपको याद रखना। रिटेल कैटेगरी में अब एमएसएमई को भी लोन्स दे सकते हैं विच आर हैविंग अ टर्नओवर ऑफ लेस देन 500 करोड़। अगर उन्हें लोन दे रहे हैं अप टू 10 करोड़ देन वी विल बी कंसीडरिंग दिस एज अ रिटेल लोन। ठीक है, वरना हम बिजनेस लोन कंसीडर करते हैं, लोन टू एमएसएमई। ठीक है, आगे देखते हैं। चलो क्वेश्चन नंबर 3, under the new RBI norms, what is the risk weight for long term unrated exposures? So it's a long term loan plus it is unrated। ठीक है, अनरेटेड है और लॉन्ग टर्म है, तो तब हम कितना प्रोविजन मेंटेन करेंगे? रिस्क वेट दैट दे आर आस्किंग, दे आर सेइंग 50%, 75%, 100%, 125%, 150%, राइट? लेट्स सी। टेन्योर बेसिस पे हमने पढ़ा था दैट व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज गोइंग टू बी द राइट आंसर। Right, great. C is the right answer. Good job. So C is the right answer. 100%. 100% is the right answer. That is 100% will be maintained by the bank for the long-term unrated exposure. Just like that, they are saying RBI has increased the threshold for applying 150 risk weight on unrated exposures to corporate and NBFC. Right? तो dash. तो वो क्या रेटिंग है? क्या है? That is 100 crore, 200 crore, 300 crore, 500 crore, 1000 crore. So what is the right amount in this case? Yes. No, Manish, B is not a right answer. They're asking about the amount has been increased. So your threshold has been increased from 200 crore to rupees 500 crore. So your limit has been increased to 200 crore to 500 crore. Now, if a bank gives loan of more than 500 crore, only then they have to maintain 150% of risk weight. Only then they have to maintain 150% of the risk weight. Okay. So new threshold is 500 crore. New threshold is 500 crore. Earlier this threshold was 200 crore. Earlier this limit was 200 crore, right? But now it has been revised to 500 crore, right? So this is the right answer. Okay. So if you need any kind of guidance, if you have any kind of doubt, you can connect me over this particular Telegram group. In this, I have one personal Telegram group link as well. You can join that. And in that, users have access to, communicate with me if they have any doubt, right? Apart from this, this is the regulatory body exam super pack that we are offering at a very lowest prices of 6,499, right? And then we have one winners batch, that is crash course batch for all of you. Again, this is going to be very useful because all things are available at one place for all of you. And thank you everyone. I hope this session is a fruitful session for all of you. I hope you have learned correctly whatever I have taught you. And these news are very important. 38th सेबी का फाउंडेशन डे और आरबीआई का सर्कुलर, राइट, दिस कैन बी आस्क्ड। और प्रीलिम्स में मोबीक्विक से रिलेटेड इस तरह के कुछ बैंकिंग लेवल, फिनटेक लेवल क्वेश्चंस भी पूछे जाते हैं। सो आई होप यू हैव लर्न देम इन अ करेक्ट वे। गुड बाय एवरीवन, टेक केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ।